it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec, and today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd Online Shop. This is video 2 of 3 I'm doing for Stash Busting Weekend. So there are challenges, prizes, process videos, and loads more. And that's all over on the Facebook page Scrapbook Nerd Friends Group. So I'll put a link to that below in case you're curious. I'm going to be creating a layout today using a kit I created from my stash. Now here it is, and most of it comes from Vicki Boutin's Let's Wander collection. And if you want to see how I put this kit together, I will put a link to that below, because the first video I put out in this little stash busting series, I put this kit together. I also issued you a challenge in that first video, so I'm going to link that up below in case you're curious. And all of these products, most of them anyway, are still available at the Scrapbook Nerd. So I'm going to link that up below as well. I did a bit of preparation in advance. So I matted this photo. It measures 5 by 5 and the mat is 1/4 inch larger. And I created this frame style foundation with 2 sheets of paper, and I gutted one of them. And I also rounded the corners on the white paper. Now, if you want to see how I make a frame style foundation and gut it, there is a tutorial on my channel, and I'll link that up below. And here are the papers that I have. Now, I already dug into that stash kit, so this is what I have left over, and this is what I'll be using here in this video. Now, I'm going to speed this up, and what I'm going to do is create a layered photo mat with all of these papers, and all measurements will be on the screen. So while I'm cutting this down, I just want to talk a bit about my approach to scrapbooking when I use stash kits, because it is different than my usual scrapbooking. Typically, when I use a stash kit for me is material that doesn't particularly inspire me, and what I do is I pimp it up a bit and make myself excited about it, which is exactly what I did here with this kit. As much as I love Vicki Boutin, I've used all of her other stuff from Let's Wander, but this is what I have left over, so it simply is the least favorite of the collection for me. That's all. It's just a little bit out of my comfort zone. Anyway, when I use stash kits, meaning material that is, not my favorite, I typically take more creative risks with it, and I scrapbook differently. I do things differently. I take risks. I play a bit more, and that's exactly what I'm doing here. I am layering up all of these different papers. Normally, I wouldn't do that. I'm much more conservative when it comes to scrapbooking. So as you can see, I have all of those different layers, and I'm even adding a piece of vellum behind my photo. I'm having fun here, so there are advantages to using stash. So back to this. Before committing this layered photo mat to my foundation page, I am going to add a bit of ink. So that ink is Soft Sky from Stampin' Up, and I'm applying it with a Picket Fence Studios blending brush. So I'm more or less concentrating it in the top left and the bottom right corners, and that is going to be where I have 2 big embellishment clusters. So these ink foundations, it's going to be like a foundation piece for my embellishment clusters, and it also just adds a little bit of the whiteness. It removes a little bit of the whiteness from the foundation page. Now, when I have my photo and page parts ready, typically I come in with my journaling spot as well as title, and that's what I'm showing you right here. That guest check piece is from a cut apart sheet from this collection. I'm going to use that for journaling, and the title I showed you was on wax paper. I showed you the alphas. Again, that was from this Let's Wander collection. The title, I'm going to place it within my embellishment cluster, so I put it off to the side, and now I'm playing with embellishment. So I started with those 3 squares that look almost like Polaroid photos. Again, that's a cut apart sheet from this collection. I placed them in a triangle around my photo within different layers of that photo mat. It was just kind of fun playing with those layers. And then I used that aqua color in the guest check to find 2 more pieces of ephemera to create a triangle around the page. So that was the car as well as the flower. Then I started coming in with smaller pieces, and I really wasn't overthinking it. I'm just placing it around and kind of having fun with it. The title, I decide to put it in the top right corner. And now that I was happy with all of those pieces, I'm going to adhere it to the page. Now I took out my phone and snapped a little photo because there are so many pieces there. There are like 15 or 16 different pieces I'm adding to this. So I wanted to remember where to place them, and I do refer to that photo continuously while I'm adhering it. Now most of it is being adhered flat to the page, but I do reserve a few pieces that I pop up on foam adhesive. Also, when I adhere the title down, you're going to see that in a minute. Those alphas from Vicki Boutin's Let's Wonder collection, I absolutely love them. They are like chipboard and they're solid, so they're really easy to add foam adhesive behind it because the pieces are kind of full, if that makes any sense. Like there's no O in the there's no hole in the letter O, for example. Anyway, so I popped all those up on foam adhesive. I stopped the camera, continued adding my title, and the flower that you see me adhering, as well as that piece I just adhered that says Small Adventure, I backed that in cardstock so that I could pop those up on foam adhesive as well. Now I'm going through the sticker sheets and just adding a few pieces. So I found 3 pink flowers. I'm putting them around the page on foam adhesive, again, to create a visual triangle. I put a sticker underneath the photo right in front of that card that says I'm gonna eat, with an arrow pointing up to the ice cream cone, and I also put a little tab, that's what you see me doing now, with the word fave food. I come in with those sequins. I'm a little uncomfortable with that, but I do end up adding a few, and all I did off camera was my journaling, of course, and then I ruffled up the edges of the paper with my fingernail, and that is it. So this turned out to be really quite a playful page, really. It's not my style, but I had a lot of fun using it. I certainly used up a lot of stash, and I do like using stash kits to create layouts that are outside my comfort zone and just a bit different. It's, I don't know, for me it's like I have more of an easy time taking creative risks with material that's not necessarily my favorite. Even though I still like it, it's not something, it's not really in my color palette, really. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, as well as my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec. Also, make sure you head on over to the Scrapbook Nerd Friends Group Facebook page because there's so much going on over there this weekend. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.